Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravos Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where, as usual, we gather important news from our city, state, and country. We bring them to the show, along with your comments, your ideas, and suggestions, as we try to make way through Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. Today is Tuesday, January 28th, and it's a pleasure to be with you this morning. I am once again at my home away from home, Café Rio, at the Joint Boutique Hotel. We are so grateful to have the opportunity to broadcast from here this morning. It's very peaceful and very quiet. So if I seem a little bit on the serene side, it's just because I am enjoying the space along with a couple of other people who are enjoying the view and enjoying the time spent here. Karina is busy, of course, figuring out the world. Karina looks like she's wondering if she's going to take a vacation to the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of California, but that's a different story. Not today, or maybe just a little bit. We're going to start with our news as usual, but first, as always, if you have any important comments or questions that you wish to bring to the mix, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. And of course, if you're watching live for the first time and you would like a nice little friendly welcome, it goes a long way for us. If you are, if you had a capital letter N as in new, and even though he hasn't, I see that Sargento Dan is watching live for the first time. He says, good morning. I'm excited about this because Sargento Dan, we talked a little bit about his performances a couple of days ago, and I'm grateful to see that Sargento Dan has signed up for a spotlight interview in the month of March, and it'll be a lot of fun to learn a little bit about what he brings to the table as a Puerto Vallarta entertainer that joined us not too long ago. But first, let's take a quick look at the headlines I gathered for you this morning, and we begin with even more news from FITUR, the very important travel expo that took place in Madrid, that was attended by both our governor and also the Puerto Vallarta mayor, Luis Munguia. This morning, Jalisco Governor Pablo Lemus Navarro has confirmed that next week he will make an important announcement regarding the growth of the hotel section in the region. There are going to be 2 new 5-star hotel projects built in Costalegre. I take that back. 1 in Costalegre and 1 in Puerto Vallarta. These were finalized in a recent meeting in Madrid. The new hotel in Puerto Vallarta will be located in an area close to the old Hotel Cristal in the coastal area, in the hotel zone. Of course, these projects are part of the effort to strengthen the tourist infrastructure in our city and attract more visitors to the region. If you ask me, no, I don't foresee any new construction projects going on in our hotel zone. Chances are more likely that a hotel in that area that is already there will change hands. But I'll keep you posted as soon as we learn more information about this. Construction of the Tepic-Compostela Highway in Nayarit is making significant progress and is expected to be completed this year, according to Marco Antonio Figueroa, director of the Center of the Ministry of Infrastructure, Communications, and Transportation in the state. The project, which will have 31 structures, including 10 major ones and 2 overpasses over railroad track by the time it is completed, aims to reduce travel time between Tepic and the southern coast, that would be us, by approximately 50 minutes. And this week, the planes that bring back to Mexico the Mexican nationals returned by the Donald Trump government as part of its massive deportation immigration policy are expected to begin arriving in our state. These is our estimations from the General Director of DIF Jalisco, Diana Vargas. She indicated that the state DIF will seek to support the repatriated citizens, firstly by providing spaces as shelters at the Villa Primavera Club of the University of Guadalajara and in police academies, and then remaining in coordination with other associations that might be able to assist. And that's what we have for the first block. Let us turn over to our weather forecast just to see what's going on out there. And I actually don't see, let me put it in front of my face. Am I jealous that DeepSeek might have a single-handedly popped the AI tech bubble? A little. That's what our snarky weatherman says. Of course, I have no idea what that means. What I know is that it is 23 degrees out there. Humidity is at 67%. Our weather forecast for today indicates that we'll have partly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high temperature of 27 and a low temperature of 16. Then tomorrow, we can expect clear skies throughout the day with a high temperature of 26 and a low temperature of 14. And then Thursday, we can expect mostly clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 25 and a low of 14. Now, moving right along, I have collected other interesting headlines that I wish to share with you, starting with one final reminder. Let me put it up on the screen. We've been talking about this. I repeat it a lot, not because we get any kind of kickback or bonus, but I know that a lot of you English-speaking locals like to attend the Charro Championship. And it starts this Thursday. And it ends on Sunday, February the 2nd. As you know, this takes place at the Lienzo Charro Miguel Prieto y Barria. And it'll feature this year 30 competing themes and the presentation of 10 escaramuza groups. And for those of you that are not familiar with the term, we call the men charros. And the women that are also participating in Mexico's national sport, we call them escaramuzas. This year's goal by the International Friendship Club to raise 200,000 pesos through ticket sales for their raffle, their fundraising raffle, is surpassing the impressive 148,000 pesos that they raised last year. This comes from an update received from Banderas News this morning. Of course, in last year, of the 148,000 pesos raised, 97,500 were distributed to local charities, reinforcing the International Friendship Club's commitment to giving back to the Puerto Vallarta community. I thought you would appreciate knowing that. And I'm finally going to go see Emilia Pérez at the movie theater this afternoon so that I can see for myself what all the fuss is about. But in the meantime, you'll be amused to learn that the Federal Consumer Protection Agency issued a clarification regarding the well-known Cinépolis guarantee linked to the foreign film Emilia Pérez. Let me explain. When you go to Cinépolis, the local movie chain, you see all the trailers at the beginning, and some of them, they bill as having the Cinépolis guarantee. Well, what has happened is that a bunch of disgruntled Mexican nationals that have seen the movie and didn't like it expected the movie theater to issue a refund. At the beginning, the movie theater said nay, but in a press conference, the head of the Federal Consumer Protection Agency, Ivan Escalante, explained the details of the meeting he held with executives of the cinema chain to address the issue. Escalante explained that following several complaints from consumers, Profeco decided to contact Cinépolis to discuss the situation, and as a result of this intervention, the cinema chain was forced to implement a policy to announce guarantee effective or to eliminate the legend that accompanies it. So this means that either Cinépolis starts paying people that don't like the movies they attend, or they need to call it a recommendation but not a guarantee. And that's just too amusing for me. Again, I'll go watch the movie this afternoon. It's 2 for 1. So I'll tell you my impressions on Emilia Pérez tomorrow. Last but not least, Google announced on Monday that it will change the names of the Gulf of Mexico and Denali Mountain on its mapping platform for users in the United States. The Gulf of Mexico will appear as Gulf of America, and Denali in Alaska will once again be called Mount McKinley. Please send me some screenshots when this happens, just for amusement, as the company has revealed that these changes will only be reflected in United States computing devices. And now let us head over to your comments. But first, let's have another look at this. Okay, so here we are. I read, oh my goodness, there are bears in town. I think it's Bear Week, and I see bears. Um, Good mornings from a bunch of people. This is great to see. A nice update from Den. Oh, Den, I am so happy to read you. Den says, Kathy and I did our Qi, Gong, and Tai Chi this morning for the first time in weeks. It went well. I'm so happy to hear that, and I'm so happy to know that you continue recovering. Luke, it's nice to read you. I've been reading your comments, and I very much appreciate them. Let's see what else we have. Oh my goodness. Betsy, okay, let me explain this because you might get a kick out of this. When we were in our latest music appreciation presentation, um, I discussed a YouTube channel named Coxy, Coxy, where the channel host gets a kick out of spoofing lyrics that we misunderstand. So if you're into Google, if you're into YouTube, just visit Coxy, and I'm sure you'll be amused as well. Let's see what else. Happy times for Den and Kathy. Absolutely. Thank you for that comment. Liz says, so glad about the repatriated people back to Mexico. Well, the government of Mexico has vowed not to leave deportees astray. So I am also happy to read that our state is taking care of this. Let's see what else we have. What do the Charro champions win? A lot of pesos. There are huge financial prizes for winners at the Charro Championship. I don't know all the details, but I'm sure you can find them at their Facebook page, which we have announced in the past. Uh, oh my God, Zoe, I am so sorry I haven't connected with you. It's been a minute, but I'm glad you're back in town, and I hope people will get a chance to go watch Zoe performing at the Palm. She is an amazing entertainer from Britain, and we've seen her before, and she plays the piano, she plays other instruments, she sings, she juggles things, she tells stories, and most importantly, she makes you feel good about yourself. Go check Zoe Lewis at the Palm. 2 more shows left. Let's see what else we have. Oh my goodness. Okay, once again, I'm going to state the news, but I'm not going to engage in commentary that has to do with politics from north of the border. You make of it whatever you can, and you find comfort here by us choosing not to acknowledge what's going on elsewhere and being grateful that we have a place where we can talk about other things comfortably and without a problem. Um, and I thank you for partnering with me on that pursuit. Boom, 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 boom. I think we are done. No, we are not. I wanted to once again remind you that, let me put this on the screen, tomorrow the spotlight is going to be a lot of fun. I've heard from two out of our three guests. Ashley Werder will talk about her Nomad family group that provides photographic services. And it won't be Linda, but a representative from Puerto Vallarta's Chili Cook-Off will join us to discuss uh, details about their upcoming event. I haven't heard from Frankie Victoria from Vallarta Cares, but I sure hope that Vallarta Cares is represented during our broadcast tomorrow. And as long as we are sharing this screen with news and updates, I might as well tell you that I'm getting excited about my next music appreciation presentation, which will take place here at the Joint Hotel on February 6th. Bring a tissue. And that is not only a suggestion, well, it is a suggestion. We are going to break down the most depressing, the saddest classical music I can find. We're going to break it into three groups. We're going to first listen to instrumental pieces because, as you know, music has the power to convey emotion on its own. But then we're going to add to the mix vocal music and add the context of the lyrics to see how that incorporates or that complements the feeling of sadness in the music. And lastly, we're going to take a look at some amazing film clips where music is the driving force behind the emotions and see why on earth we should be bringing tissues to what should otherwise be a very uplifting presentation. I am cutting to the chase. You're going to need tissues for this one. And I think this brings us to the end for today's Coffee and Headlines. I've read all your comments, and I think we are good. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, no, there's some new comments here. John, no, I haven't had a chance to listen to the Himno Migrante, but I promise I will do it. Life has been a little funky since the weekend because of the internet woes that I'm having at home. But I'm so grateful to be able to broadcast from Cafe Rio and enjoy the company of Karina and other people trying to focus on their own meals while I'm just blabbing away the news. Um, Joanne says, sending you a note about the upcoming fundraiser of the Casa Esperanza Women's Shelter. That is lovely, Joanne. Please not only send me a note if possible, but send me a link to a web page where viewers like you can obtain more information if necessary. And Alan's comment says, tomato, tomato. Well, I don't know what to say. All I'm going to say is that we're done for this morning's broadcast. As usual, I thank you for your support, for your company, for your comments and your questions. And I thank you for sharing news about everything we do with your friends. As always, we appreciate it when you like our broadcast, when you subscribe, when you share our content with other people. Today, once again, it's Emilia Pérez afternoon, and then we'll be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more about the film. In the meantime, have an amazing day. The weather is extraordinary out there. I hope to see you again tomorrow morning for more coffee headlines and stories. Have a good day.